They are not your people. They're not. Let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. If you're feeling very lonely right now, like you don't know who you are without the people that surround you, without your friends, without having a friend group, if you really don't have many interests outside of hanging out with your friends or whatever your friends are interested in, I mean this in the nicest, firmest way possible, get a life. Because the feeling that you are feeling in this friend group that you hold on so tightly to, the people that you obsess over who don't want anything to do with you because they have their own things and you have nothing apparently better to do than to stalk their social media, think of them, think of ways to talk to them, to hang out with them, to get back into their good graces. If you are in a friend group right now, if you have just friends in general who are your friends, you call them your friends, you hang out with them, but you have this feeling of being nothing, like you're a chameleon blending into this person, into this idea of a group that you latch on to. If you feel hollow, if you feel diminished after just talking to these people, after being around these people, but they're your friends, get a life. They are not your people. And if they let you go, if they cut you out, no matter the circumstances, if they just decide that they don't like you, if they just decide that you don't fit their standards, whatever that means, if they just choose not to be around you or something occurs and then they just drop you, let them go. Let them go. They are not your people. Every single person on this planet has their own energy, and whether you're spiritual or not, this philosophy still stands. Whether you believe in the energy or you just believe in the idea of the energy, this philosophy still stands. Every single person on this planet has their own energy. Some mesh their energies with other energies to get by, to manipulate, to survive, to elevate their career, to get what they want but they don't need. Those people who mesh those energies, we aren't those people. You aren't that person. And if you are that person, I really suggest you stop and you get a life. Every single person's energy is unique. However, every single person has a series of people who have energies that are either equal or what is this? Compatible with your energy. It's a guarantee. I don't care how introverted, how loud, how annoying, how weird, I don't care. There are always going to be people in this world to mesh with your energy, who will match your energy, who will complement you opposed to overpower you and diminish you. Your energy is the most valuable currency you have in your life. Your energy is the most valuable asset you have in your life. It is important and it is crucial to protect that energy. They are not your people. Let them go. Let them go. And if they're not letting you go because they see value in the use of a person who has shown weakness in expressing their own energy, their own opinions, their own identity, then you have to be the one to make the choice, to make the decision, to make the move that will improve your entire life, your entire livelihood, your entire mental state, and leave the situation, Leave the people behind because they are not your people. They are not your people. You are unhappy. You are struggling. You're anxious. You're having panic attacks every single day. You are exhausted. You're insomniac. You're just drained by social media because you have to turn your brain off by certain instant dopamine clickers because you can't handle the reality that you've put yourself in, because you don't recognize yourself in the mirror. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you like. You don't know how you feel about things or about yourself or other people, because you have let yourself be taken over by people who aren't your own people. And I'm not saying this in a segregatory way. I'm not saying that people, like, everyone can't get along. Everyone can get along, but it's the people that you deeply connect with and surround yourself with and share the deepest parts of your life, even not the deepest, but just the most consistent parts of your life with. Those are the people that you need to know for a fact are your people. It's not a race thing. It's not a gender thing. It's not a culture thing. It's not a ethnicity thing. It's not a ability thing. It is not any physical attribute. It is nothing exterior. It is purely based on energy. It is purely based on personality, and it's purely based on experiences other people have and understanding other people have. Okay? They are not your people. Please take it from me. Take it from experience. It is so hard to break from toxic friendships. It is so hard to decipher and really depict what relationships are healthy for you and what relationships are literally taking everything away from you slowly but surely. Diet isn't just the food we consume, it's the media we consume, it's the energy we consume. It is everything we put around our environment that makes us the person we are. And you will see it on your face. You will see it in your body. You will feel it in your body when you're with the wrong people versus when you're with the right people. And you will know right away, both ways. It's especially difficult to decipher, especially when you've only been with people that don't compliment you, people who you decide are cool, people who you decide would be good for your social status or your academic pursuits or your career, or just it's such an aesthetic friend group and like you can take super cool videos and pictures. When I was younger, this was a consistent pattern for me to fall into tons of relationships with people I would meet and feel a connection with. I wouldn't account for how they complimented me. I accounted for how they perceived me, and I was in a state of being a chameleon where I didn't trust my own energy to attract the people I wanted. I didn't trust my own personality, my own opinions, my own ideas, my behaviors, just traits in general. I didn't trust who I was, and as a result, it only expressed the parts of myself that I hated the most, as well as the part of me that was so impressively capable of mirroring other people. And because of that, because it became such a habit to mirror other people, I would be attracting people who were attracted to their own energy, not my own. So I would have a very easy time falling into these relationships with people who complimented the person I was putting out there and made me feel like I was in a positive place, that I was included in something important and something special, only to very quickly realize it wasn't me that they wanted, it was the mirroring of them that they wanted. And so when I would become comfortable and express myself, even in the most minute forms, the people who don't compliment you will only insult you. Maybe that's a little corny, maybe that's a little cliche, but it is so true. You get bit in the ass every single time. You will be hurt and you will be rejected and you will be ignored and you will be pushed away by these people. Or they'll keep you around because they see you as a pushover. They see you as someone that they can have to boost their ego because they have this idea that they're better than you. They have this idea that they'll have you always to listen to them talk about their problems, and you have no problem with just listening and never having that relationship reciprocated to you. They expect you to listen to them while they're not even attempting to try and listen to you. It could go either way. They could reject you and move on and make you feel miserable, or they could string you along and keep you around and make you feel miserable. Your choice. Or you accept the rejection, no matter how brutal the situation was, no matter how hard the breakup was, whatever relationship we're talking about, no matter how hard that was, you can let it go and you can realize they were not your people and you can move on to the next. Because the more you keep holding on to the toxic relationships that keep you and the misplaced relationships that reject you, you are going to fade and fall apart, and everyone's going to notice. That shouldn't be your first priority. You are going to notice. You are going to fall apart if you are not already. The faster you accept that they're not your people and that you are valued and you are important, at least to yourself, the happier you will be. So I will make a separate video on that, but it comes with accepting your presence, sitting in your presence, even in the parts of you that you hate, in the parts that you need to grow from, in the parts that you need to learn from, and sitting in the discomfort of who you are until it becomes your ultimate comfort person. In these past 2 years, I have never hated myself more. I have never been more of a miserable person who was essentially just meat and bones. I walked around everywhere I went with the most lacking of presence. I was nothing. I refused, nor did I even know to do the work that it took to care about my own self and know who I was. But I also put value on the people who rejected me as a person. I was in a small school and there was 30 of us, so there was slim pickings. And I didn't mesh with anyone. I really didn't. And it's not a fault of theirs and it's not a fault of mine, but I did make it a fault of mine for such a long time. And instead of fixating on pushing myself to be happy and be comfortable and at peace in my own presence and in my own company, and accept that I would one day mesh into people who complimented me, I didn't do that. I instead fixated on the people who didn't want to know me and didn't want to be around me. And I put so much effort into the relationships that wanted to keep me around whilst treating me like garbage, like nothing. Because the energy I put out there was that I was nothing. The energy I put out there was that I feel like garbage. I am anxious. I am having these episodes of pure panic and distress. I am struggling in so many aspects of my mental health, with my relationship with food. I am putting all of my energy into these external things in my life that are nothing but harming me because I am ignorant to the process of self-acceptance and the embracing of my own energy. That changed once I was finally out of that environment. But you can definitely make the change even when you're around the people that don't suit you. You wear clothes that fit you. You don't force it on you. And if they don't fit you, you don't walk around naked. You get clothes that fit you. And you wear it proudly and you wear it comfortably. That's the same thing with people. They're just not your people. And that's okay. You have to embrace yourself and you have to become comfortable with being alone. And you have to be excited and at peace and in love with your time with yourself and putting your time and energy into things that you are passionate about and care about and things that spark you. Finding those things. Putting the time to find those things. The more you focus on your own energy and focusing on building yourself and knowing thyself, knowing yourself, figuring out who you are, building your identity, building this persona that you love, that you connect with, that you resonate with, the person that you were when you were a child, the person that you were as a teenager, the person that you are now, the person that you want to be, meshed into this massive cake thing of you. And, you know, once that cake is baked, it'll smell so good, so subjectively good, it'll only attract the people who want a piece of it. They're not your people. Move on. Get a life. Take care of yourself. I hope that helped. I'm Ella, by the way. Have a nice day. Bye.